Righto, we'll talk about triangles. Triangles are just three-sided figures. So we'll just draw a triangle here, three-sided figures. It's common to refer to the corners, or what we call the vertices, in capital letters. So use any series of three capital letters. And then when we're naming the sides, the side opposite this vertex here, this where these two sides meet at B, that will be lowercase b. The side that's opposite angle A will be lowercase a, so that means from point B to point C we'll refer to as lowercase a, side A, and side C over here. Just a couple of things. If looking at this triangle, it looks like angle A will be the biggest and angle C is going to be the next biggest, and angle B will be the smallest of the angles. So we can write that, and we use this for the angle sign, like a big L around the capital. So that's angle A, so we're referring to that angle there. Now it is larger than the angle at C. Larger goes that way. Angle C is larger than the angle at B. Now, if that is the case, if those angles are in that sequence, then the sides are, the corresponding sides are in the same sequence. So the side that's opposite angle A will be greater than C, will be greater than B. Okay, so that's something about ordering in triangles. That's always the case. Obviously, the letters can interchange if we name that in different order. But you get the idea that the largest side is always opposite the large angle, and vice versa. And the middle side is opposite the middle angle, and the smallest side is always opposite the small angles in a triangle. Another thing is that the three angles add up to 180 degrees. That's something that's worth remembering, that when you add the three angles of any triangle, they always add up to 180 degrees. Incidentally, for any polygon, sum of interior angles. Polygon is just a multi-sided figure. This is a polygon of three sides. Sum of internal angles if you take, say, n is the number of sides, so n minus 2 times 180 degrees. So n is the number of sides. So in this case, we've got a triangle is a three-sided figure. 3 minus 2 is 1 times 180. If you had a four-sided figure, 4 minus 2 is 2 times 180. So all the angles in a four-sided figure, which we call a quadrilateral, add up to 2 times 180, which will be 360 degrees. Okay. There are two ways to categorize triangles. And an icon for a triangle is just a small triangle like that. So that's what we use, shorthand. Instead of writing the word triangle, we can just write that. There are two ways to categorize, and one is by the angles. We can have acute, angled triangles, and that just means all angles. Now the abbreviation for angle is the L shape. All angles are less than 180, sorry, less than 90. We can have a right angle triangle. and that's one angle equals 90 degrees, and we can have an obtuse angled triangle, and one angle is greater than 90 degrees. So that's three ways to categorize triangles using angle as our way of comparing. The other one is by the length of the sides. All sides unequal, and we call that scalene. And a symbol for that could be something like this, and if you just put a different symbol, doesn't matter what symbol you use, I'm just using a single stroke, double stroke and a circle, that's a scalene. That just says that these three are unequal in size. So that's scalene triangle. Two sides equal, and we'll just put the same symbol there, and that's called isosceles. Incidentally, if these two sides are the same length, it means the angles opposite those sides. So opposite that one there will be this one here, and opposite that side there will be that one there. So those angles are equal, given that those two sides are equal. We go back to scalene because all the sides are unequal length, then all the angles will be of different size. And the third type of triangle in this category will be three sides equal, and we call that equilateral. And we can denote that with that, that, and that. That means all sides are equal. And if all sides are equal, that means all these angles are equal. Now we know, by looking at what we did up here previously, that the three angles must add up to 180 degrees. Now if they all add up to 180 and they're all the same, then they must all be 60 degrees. Okay, so that's a general introduction to triangles. If you can categorize the lengths of the sides, well, the angles, the corresponding angles, the angles opposite those sides must be in that same order. Three angles add up to 180 degrees. Two ways to categorize triangles. If you categorize it by angles, when we've got three different types of triangles there. If we categorize it by the length of sides, then we've got three different types of triangles there.